Hello, everyone. Happy new week. I'm so excited about this Instagram TV series that we're about to embark on 10 ways to lose clutter in 2020 in your home. So, like I said earlier, I think I always say that anyway. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I actually love what I do. I love it that we can help you keep your homes, your spaces clean, and like I always say, and it has become a part of my vocabulary, help you keep your spaces healthy, maintain a healthy living environment. It's so important. Nothing else works if your system doesn't work. So I'm very excited about this. So today I'm just going to dive into the first way to cut clutter in your home in 2020. All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about this morning, okay, maybe I should say what clutter. I think I've talked about what clutter is. It's just that a lot of times some people get confused. What do you mean clutter? And that's because clutter doesn't always seem like dirt. All right, clutter doesn't always seem like dirt. So I usually say clutter is anything in your space that doesn't add value to you right now. I mean, you don't make use of it right now, but it's in your space. It's clutter. If it's dirt, it's clutter. It's in the space that it shouldn't be. You're saving something for somebody, and it's the past 6 months. The person hasn't come from Lagos to come and take it away. It's clutter. All right. It's in your kitchen cabinet, it's in the store at the back of your home, and you haven't used it for the past 1 year. You plan to go repair it next year, and the next year is here, and you plan to repair it in the next 2 months, and 2 months is gone. It's clutter. So those things choke up that space, suck up the energy in that space, and it affects you actually. So it affects you mentally, it affects you physically. The place is scattered, so you're not thinking straight. You're looking for items, you feel all scattered, and that's what clutter does. Okay, so that's basically what clutter is. So just sometimes it doesn't have to look disorganized. It can actually be organized. You know, when you properly arrange that fridge that is not working for the past 4 years, it's not blocking your way, but it's just somewhere. Whereas if you take that out, that space could add some value to you, maybe the aesthetics, and then it could just, bring in some positive vibes, energy. I told you, when you have things in a space that shouldn't be there, it sucks up the energy that is supposed to be in that space, and then what you're supposed to feel in that space, you don't feel it anymore. And sometimes you react and you don't even know the reason why you do the way you do negatively, because you have things in your space that shouldn't be there. All right. So clutter is basically anything that affects you, that doesn't have value, add value to you right now. Clothes that you're wishing to wear in 2024, you shouldn't have it now. I'm sure in 2024, maybe we'll start wearing baggy or something else, and these clothes would have lost value, so it shouldn't be in your space. So that's what we want to embark on. We want to ensure that you have a wonderful 2020. We want to ensure that you have a healthy 2020, a productive 2020. So we don't want anything in your space that sucks up the positive energy that you should have. All right. So the first way to cut clutter in your home, in your space, your office in 2020 is to find a place for every item. I've also talked about this sometime before, but I'm emphasizing it now because 2020, 2020 has to be. I told myself this year, everything turns to gold, right? So everything in my space turns to gold. Everything that won't add energy, that won't ensure that I sparkle in 2020 and beyond, won't be in my space. It won't affect me. So in 2020, everything around me turns to gold, right? So you find a home for every item. Now, how do you do this to cut clutter in your space? Everything should have a home. If they don't have a home, they lie everywhere, basically. The remote control doesn't have a home, so it can lie anywhere. The toilet paper doesn't have a home, so I can walk into your dining and toilet paper that should be in the toilet is on the dining table, right? So it doesn't have a home. Glasses don't have a place where they stay in your kitchen. There's basically nowhere carved out for items to stay, so they linger everywhere. And then I step into your home and the whole place is scattered because there's nowhere for pens, there's nowhere for spoons. That's what I mean by find a place for every item, right? So one reason things pile up on your counters, on your tables, your floors, is that they don't have a home, right? So make sure everything lives somewhere. your keys have maybe a basket where you place it. So we don't walk into your home and your keys are scattered all over the place. Papers have a place they stay, like maybe documents, they have a shelf where they stay. So we don't walk into your home and there's one pile on this corner, this one pile on the other corner. Even if you don't have a library in your home, you can just carve out a place where you're able to say, oh, this stays here, so that if you need to bring out anything from their home, you bring them out, you finish using them, you can just put them back. All right, so that makes your space clean, that makes your space tidy. All right, so find a place for everything, make sure everything lives somewhere. Now, storing items in the room where they are used helps to ensure that they get put away when they are done, which is exactly what I just said, right? So if items have a home, immediately that you're done, newspapers have a home. Immediately you're done with reading newspapers, even if you get new ones in every morning, immediately you're done, you just take them back to where they're supposed to be. So they're not lying on the table, they're not lying on the floor. The kids have storybooks, crayons, and shoes, and different things. So they all have a home, they all live somewhere, right? So immediately you're done using them, you just take them back where they're supposed to be, so that you don't have things lying on your table, your counters. You walk into your home and everywhere it's just calm and serene, the exact way it used to be, it should be. Your towels have a place where they're hung, so we don't walk into your room and your towels are lying everywhere, or every item has to live somewhere. That will help you cut clutter in 2020, and it will help you stay clean, it will help you stay organized, and it doesn't take a lot of minutes to do that. I mean, you walk back into your home from the office, you take off your shoes. Your shoes have a home. So you just take that 2, 3, 4 seconds or a minute to take it off and just put it exactly where it should be. So we don't walk in and we're tripping over your shoes and then, oh my God, now you have a headache. That's what clutter does. It just affects you in negative ways. So you want to help cut clutter by giving every single item a home. As much as possible. It doesn't have to be anything so big if you don't have a big space. Besides, the space you have should be able to house everything that it is in that space, except the things in it shouldn't be there because maybe the space is small or something like that. So if there are things that you use frequently, I'll use kitchen as an example, right? I usually say that in organizing a kitchen, you should learn to keep the items you use regularly, like your salt, your pepper, your spice, and all that, in a counter that is close to your cooking area, so that you don't want to cook and you're walking all the way down the hall if you have a very big kitchen, or you're turning around all the way just to get salt or just to get pepper, So when you get it out, then it's difficult to, sometimes, not all the time, it's difficult to walk back to where the store where you brought it out from. But if you have a counter just probably on top or around the cooking area there somewhere, you can just, pick it out, you put the salt, put the pepper, and then you put it back. That's a good way to organize your kitchen. So if there are things you use frequently, you could just keep them close to the place where they are being used so that you can just easily put them back. So I hope this helps. This is number 1, and we have 9 to go. So I hope this helps. You have a productive week, productive year, which is why we're doing this. I love you. Tell me if this helps. Please send me a message. I want to know that you're learning something from this, and it helps you stay healthy and sane. Have a wonderful week, people. Bye.